Well, alrighty, y'all. It is about that time. Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. It's digital host AJ Wuest here, welcoming you back to Before the Four. Now, I just got out of a meeting, so today's Before the Four is going to be a little bit shorter than normal, but we still have tons of great and good content. That some of it might tug on the heartstrings a little bit. Very sad story, especially Nick Ballinger's story from last night that I'm going to replay for you all, but just got out of a meeting and we talked a lot of things to improve our digital presence here at WAFF 48. One of those things is we will no longer be doing live streams on Facebook. That will just be happening on YouTube and our 48 Now live stream. So if you're watching Before the Four right now, you are either watching it on YouTube or the 48 Now live stream. So keep doing that. That is how we will be live streaming from now on. But in the case of severe weather, we will, of course, be still going live on Facebook for you all. But speaking of weather, let's jump into weather. It was a bit rainy this morning. Let's turn it over to 48 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis for what to expect for the rest of the day. Brad?
Good Thursday afternoon, everyone. We had a mess of some bigger thunderstorms. Extreme southern Coleman County, just past the lake, the dam there, Smith Lake. Right now, things are quieting down. So all across the board, some needed rain, by the way, because we may be dry for the next week. And boy, is it going to warm up. Here just after 3:15 or so this afternoon, we've got an old rain-cooled boundary that's still settling to the south, but overall the brunt of the storms are well to the south of at least our main viewing area. Take a quick look at the Birmingham radar. Things are not really flaring up all that much, but the areas we're going to watch for the rest of the day, basically out over here down to Tuscaloosa, some smaller hail a possibility with those thunderstorms. Temperatures have really recovered with some afternoon sunshine. It feels like spring out there, and tonight we're going to cool down. Get used to this. Some cool mornings, cool evenings, morning lows in the 40s, slow clearing tonight. And then tomorrow, 70 degrees, still a northerly breeze, sunset at 5:40. And as we continue on to that 10-day forecast, look at that. I just adjusted this today. It's looking like some of us will hit 80, maybe even Sunday, and then 80 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week. Unfortunately, this could end with severe weather. It's that time of year, so we're going to have to watch that closely. But right now, nothing imminent, nothing pressing. Enjoy the warmer weather.
Well, all right, that's good to know, and I definitely will be enjoying that warmer weather. Thank you so much, Brad. Looking forward to this weekend. It is looking spectacular out there. But also, don't forget, 48 First Alert Weather Extra will be tonight at 9:30. Again, you can watch that on the 48 Now live stream or on YouTube. But First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis, he'll be back here in the streaming center. He'll go through the radar, all the latest that you need to know weather-wise here in the Tennessee Valley. So you're just not going to want to miss it. 48 First Alert Weather Extra tonight at 9:30. But now let's jump into some of the day's top stories. And moving out to Madison County, where ICE officials have made their way to Meridianville regarding labor concerns. Yesterday, Faith Delp went to the neighborhood where the agents were spotted and has more. Let's take a look.
Just a few hours ago, this street behind me and the next street over in the Bermuda Lakes neighborhood were filled with nearly 10 different federal agencies executing warrants for, quote, labor concerns.
I just woke up to some commotion and I had look out the window and I seen him down there. It was like 7:33. He had called me and told me look out my window. A lot of guns drawn, you know. I was very, very terrified.
Xavier Wilson and Josh Toller are residents in this neighborhood, and they say everything was pretty normal here until a few months ago when these new homes were built and people started to move in. Now they say the neighborhood has been turned upside down.
It wasn't too much attention out here.
But it wasn't too much attention. We didn't have all of this.
Today, I watched federal agents approaching homes and escorting people into waiting agents' cars. Some people were driven away, but we still don't have a clear idea of how many or what charges they may face. We do know there were 7 federal, state, and local agencies here today, including ICE, FBI, and Homeland Security. Wilson lives next door to one of the homes that was searched, and he told me the new neighbors changed the tone of the community.
It would be weird vibes with them. Like, you step outside, you'd catch them staring at you. They'd be jogging up and down the street. And they really didn't come outside till nighttime.
The agencies left this neighborhood earlier this afternoon, and we believe all of the homes involved are rentals, so we were unable to find the names of those renters who may have been picked up today. We will update you once we have any more information. Reporting in Meridianville, Faith Delp 48 News on your side.
And now moving out to that sad story we mentioned at the very beginning of Before the Four today. A very sad story for you all in case you missed it. The family of a 12-year-old girl in Huntsville who sadly passed away by suicide is sharing her story to help other parents and children. Nick Ballinger has this very sad story.
Even before she was born, I knew she was special.
12-year-old Lindsay Swan was full of nothing but life.
She stuck up for others that were afraid to speak up for themselves and dared anyone to push around her friends or her siblings.
Her mom and stepdad say their sweet pea never met a person she didn't like.
She refused to fail at anything and never gave up until she got it down.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Between sports, playing outside, video games, and hanging out with friends, the Mountain Gap middle schooler had the typical 12-year-old life.
One day we go.
There wasn't a roller coaster that she was scared to get on.
She was so brave.
Yeah.
Most of all, Lindsay loved life. She loved her friends and family, and her smile would light up the room.
On the outside, she was thriving.
Her biggest dream was to be a marine biologist, study sharks, and save the whales.
Inside, she was struggling. She would never get to realize those dreams. Lindsay took her own life last week.
For the most part, she seemed great. You know, the day before she passed, she was laughing and smiling, and we were making plans for the future.
She's giving you those flowers.
When her father died 4 years ago, her mom said Lindsay felt it the hardest.
That brought on a lot of heartache for her. Before she started middle school, I really tried to prepare her because middle school girls can be ruthless. Kids were mocking her and weaponizing the fact that her father had passed away. And it was infuriating. I couldn't believe it. Confusing for them. You know, they don't understand why they're being treated that way. I would smile through my stress and sorrows, but she knew when I was feeling down, and she would be my biggest comfort.
No matter what it was, they would go through it together.
And I had these conversations with her. So, I mean, the fact that this happened to her it could happen to anybody. She will never be forgotten. Sometimes the brightest lights are dimmed too soon.
She says her daughter told her friends months ago what she planned to do.
They would have told somebody. It could have very well saved her life.
I think we need to be more aware and look for any signs, no matter how small they are.
You know, there's so much shame associated with it that people are afraid to come forward and be open about it. It may seem young, but we absolutely need to be having these conversations. If you see something, say something.
Because if you don't, there may be more mothers who have to read their daughter's eulogy.
Not only was she beautiful on the outside, she was beautiful on the inside. She was my mini-me, my best friend, and the light of my life.
And all they have left is a note from her journal.
It's too late for me. Please talk to someone. Even if they act or look okay, they might make it because of you.
Very powerful reporting there from our own Nick Ballinger. A very, very tragic situation. But now let's turn over to our crime of the week. Let's see who Huntsville police need your help finding this week.
This week, we have a few people accused of violating their probation and others accused of committing new crimes. If you know where to find them, the Crime Stoppers want to hear from you.
Antonio Hudson is on probation for burglary,
Madison County deputies say he violated his probation and they want to bring him in. Huntsville police say Dwayne McCrary drove onto private property and hit 2 cars and then a garage, causing more than $14,000 worth of damage. He's wanted for criminal mischief. Adrian Pitts is charged with willful abuse of a child. Huntsville police say he beat his child with a belt and left multiple injuries. Police say Clifton Prince stole more than $1,200 worth of merchandise from the Walmart on Jordan Lane. James Strong was arrested for theft of property. He's accused of violating his probation. And John Williams was arrested for receiving stolen property. He's also accused of violating his probation. It's easy to earn up to $1,000. If you have information that can help authorities, just call 256-53-CRIME or scan that QR code on your screen. For more information, visit the Crime Stoppers link on our website, WAFF.com.
With that, we're going to end today's Before the Four with the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. The latest on a police chase with shots fired in the Shoals unwinding right now. Aria Pons will have the latest on that situation coming up. A school bus crash in Huntsville this afternoon. We'll have those details. And finally, a Marshall County man, now the accused killer of a 76-year-old man in Arab. Will Eldridge will have all the details on that fatal shooting. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. And y'all, no Facebook fun today. I know, very, very sad, but I promise tomorrow it will be coming back. We'll end the week with not only the good side, but we'll also have some Facebook fun in there. We'll have a 48 Facebook question. But as I mentioned, I had not a lot of time to get this live stream ready today as I was in a meeting until 3 o'clock. But so I had no time to ask a question on Facebook, but it's coming back tomorrow, I promise. But y'all, I hope you all have a fantastic night tonight. Enjoy our evening newscasts. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.